Welcome to Cinema Talk, a place where you can get unfiltered discussion of opinions about cinema and television. I am your host, Trayvon, and with me, as always, is my lovely co-host.
I'm Benny Boy.
What's going on? What's going on? Nice to see you guys again. This is episode 5. We're getting pretty far along here. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's just get right down into it. First things first, the weekly news. Some pretty big things happened this week, especially a lot to do with Marvel as well. The Captain Marvel directors were cast this past week. Ben, you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, there's a couple from some suburban country in Texas. That's not true. But they're like nobodies.
Yeah, there's someone unknown. Yeah, they've done like a few things on TV, but they're not really.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can prove themselves in one of the biggest universes and hopefully get more work if they do well.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It's a lot of the directors that Marvel has done have been somewhat Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck. The two of them, they're unknown, and I think a lot of the directors that Marvel's cast have also been somewhat unknown. The Russo brothers, what were they doing before?
Yumi and Dupree.
Yeah, Yumi and Dupree, and even Joss Whedon, even though he had a lot of credit from television, he had never really done like a big movie before. And even James Gunn was mostly known for writing and whatnot. So it was every director has been somewhat not that experienced in the field, but they've all turned out to be very successful. So I think this is probably the same thing. Marvel knows what they're doing. They wouldn't cast someone they didn't think could do the job. So I think they'll do good. So with these guys, Brie Larson, we'll see 2018 how the film will look together overall. 2019, how the film will look together overall.
Yeah, they had to postpone it a lot. So.
Yeah, sorry about that. On to the next weekly news story. Avengers: Infinity War set photos. They've been linking quite a bit. There were a few. I think last week or so there was a few of like Scarlet Witch fighting some like guy with like a staff in like the streets or something like that. But this week we got something a bit
Vision
interesting.
and Scarlet getting it on,
Yeah, they were like making out in like a building or something. But
Vision was a human.
Yeah, he's like
it was Paul Bettany.
Yeah, it was Paul Bettany basically. And I'm very interested about. A lot of people have their theories about what they think's going on. I'm really not sure.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we're going with it.
I mean, maybe because he can shapeshift and whatnot. Maybe he like shaped himself to look like a normal person to not be so creepy to her. Maybe I
guess.
She's into that.
The directors said that the scene after that they told him not to take pictures of because it was something really big.
Yeah, apparently something big. Yeah, so that's interesting to see. And possibly maybe a death scene. Maybe we don't know. We don't know. So goodbye, Vision. No, I'm kidding. But it could be some. I mean, I feel like if one of us didn't go, it's probably gonna be him. But
they wouldn't kill brother and sister.
Yeah, poor Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He's Quicksilver. It's alright.
No one cares about him.
20th Century Fox did it better.
With Evan Peters, but I think it should be interesting. I'm excited to see what these are. To see more set photos be like. I want to see some of Cap. I want to.
It's alright.
I want to see some. They've all been of Scarlet Witch so far, but it's alright.
Or Chris Pratt. Sorry.
well, that video that they released of like the sneak peek, he was in that. Him, Robert, and Tom was in that.
Yeah. So, well, that's true, but I mean, that was just
they weren't in action.
Actors,
I guess. Yeah, they weren't in action. I guess fair enough.
And then Will Smith.
Yeah. Is he in Infinity War?
Yeah.
Really?
He's Deadshot.
What?
The first crossover.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So wait, so that means Batman's gonna be there as well?
Absolutely.
This is gonna be the biggest movie.
Kidding. Will Smith's gonna be the genie though.
Oh.
In the live-action Aladdin movie.
See, now you made it not as nice now. I was excited for that. That's okay though. That's
good.
That's good. Yeah, because Aladdin, it's the live-action version. Yeah, it's very big. A lot of people were wondering who's gonna play Genie. Some people thought The Rock.
I think that was very good because if Will brings back his Fresh Prince charisma, he can do really well.
He probably shouldn't.
No, not that much. No, but a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But I kind of want Will to do well with it.
Yeah, I think he'll do good. I think
because Robin Williams was great. He was amazing.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's a diverse casting as well because they said that for the main action roles, they're gonna cast unknown Indian actors to stay true to so that they don't whitewash or whatever anything like that. So I think that's nice. I like that.
I don't know. I guess Will Smith is gonna be blue. But
yeah. Well, at least he's not white, I guess.
That's true. Like, it'll be interesting.
Egyptian genie's white. That doesn't make sense.
There you go.
So, okay, whatever.
They gave it a shot.
Yeah, they're trying. They're trying. All right, that's nice. Then our final news story. Now I'm gonna explain a little bit about this before we get into it.
Be my guest.
Basically, really quick, I'm gonna talk to you guys about box office, just to explain it down a bit. So, it's what defines a film as being successful or not successful. Usually, a film needs to make double its budget to be considered breaking even. Anything above that is considered better. And then opening weekends, that's how much the film makes in that weekend, and usually that predicts whether they think it's going to be successful down the line. And it takes from domestic which is money that it makes in America to foreign money as well, to where it makes everywhere else that it plays.
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide, globally. And for a long time, the biggest opening weekend for any film has always been Star Wars: The Force Awakens, at least since it came out. It held that record with over $500 million, $529 million, I believe. And this past week, well, last week, I guess, but it wasn't told until Monday, we found out that The Fate of the Furious has now become the biggest opening weekend ever, with $532 million opening.
Crushing Star Wars.
That is pretty crazy. Vin Diesel pat himself on the back for sure. He's like, well, my job's done, because that's pretty darn impressive. Think about all the movies that beat out the Avengers. That beat out so many huge films that this film has not beat out Star Wars even once again. That's pretty insane, and it's already now currently as we're speaking up to over $900 million, and it's just its second weekend now. So that's pretty crazy. Now, the thing that while some people are looking at this and saying, oh, that's not really fair because it only made $90 million domestically. Which actually was quite low because they said domestically it should make 120 or 110, but it made 90. But Vin Diesel, I think especially because of Triple X being so big in China, he's become like a huge star in China, and so it made like I think it was like 60 or 70% of its money from there. They brought in like over hundreds of millions of dollars, so that's how it was able to get to $500 million. So it's still considered, that's you can't say that's cheating. I mean, it opened up foreignly and it did well there, so you can't really say that's cheating into the movie. I think it's pretty good. What do you think about it?
I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
It was definitely better than a couple of the other ones. I prefer Fast 5 personally is my favorite Fast and Furious movie. But I think that it was new. It was different. Jason Statham I think did very well as The Rock, of course.
Yeah, hats off to the whole cast. They're happy about this, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's by far going to make $1 million easy.
Yeah, billion, yeah.
Or excuse me, billion.
Yeah, because it's already only $100 million away. So.
Yeah. So I think it did well. Good for them.
Very impressive, very impressive. So yeah, congrats to the Fate of the Furious. Apparently that franchise is still going strong.
Two more.
Good for it. Yeah, 2 more. Once again, after this, I definitely think Vin Diesel will be like, you know what? We can make like 7 or 8 more after this. Why not? I'm not
Honestly,
going anywhere.
I would prefer another Riddick movie.
No, not after the last one. He's not going to do that again.
That's true. The last one was bad. The
He
first 2 weren't horrible.
Yeah, some people.
I enjoyed them.
Some people liked them.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed them a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I think he would probably make a Triple X movie again before that because that was like really
Triple
successful.
X3.
Yeah, or 4 actually.
Well, yeah.
The third one of him being in it. Yeah.
Whatever.
No one likes the Ice Cube version.
Anyway.
Yeah. So that's our weekly news. Big things. We'll see how all these turn out in the future. But on to our movie reviews. We don't have a lot of them this week. We're going to review 2 older films.
Old school.
Yeah, old school. Like, really old school. This first one we're going to review.
1922. I'm kidding.
It's not that old because, but it is a
Prohibition.
It is a older film. It came out in early 2000s. It's a nice coming of age teen movie. I think it's set in the 70s or something like that. Yeah. It's called Roll Bounce. You guys ever heard of that? No. Well, you know what? It's not a bad film.
It's Trayvon's favorite movie of all time. That's not true.
But yes, it actually is. Bow Wow, of course. All right, let's just go to the next movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what that is. And Nick Cannon. Can I not forget Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon.
And that guy. Then the guy
tried really hard. That's movie.
That's me in the 70s. I'm just. That's me in the 70s.
You really
Let's just go like that. Yeah. That's
anyway,
me.
Roll Bounce.
Wait. No, but
the
guy in Arrow is in that movie too. The guy that plays Wild Dog. Or
he is.
His name is. Yeah.
You're right. I was going to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
he is.
That's pretty cool. So good for him.
Good for
that Afro.
Good for whatever Carlos Rodriguez.
Yeah. On to the next film, which is a film will be a lot easier to review, and it's Misery.
Good old Stevie King.
Yeah, very great. It's a classic film. I really like it, and I'm excited to talk about it. What do you think about it, Ben?
James Caan was great. I very much enjoyed James Caan. Kathy Bates was terrifying. But she was also great in the movie.
Yeah.
I liked the pig. Misery the pig was great.
Yeah.
And the poor sheriff, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
I liked him. He was one of those old country guys that I enjoyed a lot, and then he just got his freaking chest blown to pieces. I was like, no! Spoilers, sorry.
If you haven't, this film is like 40 years old. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great thriller if you're into that kind of stuff with psychological thriller, I guess would be what it was called. Yeah. It has a pretty good ending to it, and it was very cult classic.
Yeah, it's very good. I like it. It reminds me a lot of Psycho. It's very similar to Psycho. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's very, very good. So yeah, good classic film. Once again, Kathy Bates has made her career. I think for sure. I think it's very impressive. Good for her. Of course, she didn't go on to do much with it, but hey, she started off strong. We'll give her that much.
She gave it a shot.
Yeah. All right, on to our trailer reviews of the week. Only not a lot of trailers as well. One of them is a sneak peek, but we'll get to that soon. But our first trailer was a trailer that I was excited to see. American Assassin. This was a pretty interesting trailer. I was excited about this because after on the Maze Runner set, Dylan O'Brien got hurt, and he was like, "I'm gonna be out for like a few months," and I was like, "Oh crap!" His face
was like shredded.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, that's not good." And then he gets back from, finally he's ready to go. But for some reason he shoots this movie first and then goes to shoot. Yeah, they're shooting Maze Runner now, but he shot this movie like before. I was like, what? Why did they decide to shoot this before? I was confused. But yeah, it's starring Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton. It looks great. It's basically, it's like an American Assassin. Basically, he plays a guy who's like lost his, from what the trailer showed, he lost his girlfriend, I guess, and now he's joining some kind of some kind of gang, like cult or whatever. Not cult, but I guess like a group of assassins, I guess, basically.
Looks very John Wicky.
Yeah, with Michael Keaton as the head of the assassins. It looks pretty interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Dylan O'Brien, he has a nice long hair going. He looks very John Wicky. Yeah, he looks like Keanu Reeves in this movie.
Maybe it's a prequel.
You think so?
I don't know.
It could be how it gets started.
We'll see.
If his name is John, then we know it is.
There you go.
So yeah,
that
it looks
would be
good.
Great.
Good for Michael Keaton getting that work.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for Dylan O'Brien. He looks normal. I thought he was gonna look completely different after surgery, but he looks exactly the same. So good for him. There you go. That's American Assassin. Looks nice. On to our sneak peek of the trailer.
Which this was like the definition of a freaking sneak peek.
I was very much excited because I saw this and I was like, I dropped everything I was doing.
And you're like, what?
And I was like, oh, that was the best 16 seconds of my life. Was it even 16 seconds? Probably not.
Something like that.
But it was great, and
like
that's Kingsman.
42 frames.
Yeah, it was Kingsman, the Golden Circle sneak peek, and man, does it look great. Just from the few, I could barely even tell what was going on.
Now remember, this is his most anticipated movie.
It is.
So
it is. I'm very excited for it.
I'm excited too. And
it looks so cool.
Props to all the people that made a frame by frame of this.
Yeah, because they go by so fast. I was just like, I can't. What? Channing Tatum.
There you go. He was in most of them.
Yeah, but it looks good.
Looks interesting.
It looks good. I'm excited.
We're excited for when the trailer comes out.
Matthew Vaughn never lets me down, and I know he won't still.
Bada boom, bada bing.
There you go. All right, that's our trailer reviews. On to our TV show reviews. Once again, it's a very slow time. Not a lot of TV shows are out. Like the rest of April doesn't really have a lot of big movies coming out, so it's just a very slow time. But TV shows, I'm gonna review Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again because a great episode this week. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it found its niche. It said, you know what? I think they fired the directors from who did the first 14 or 15 episodes, and they said, let's bring someone good in. Why have we been having these guys who are on acid writing the whole show? Let's get someone who actually knows how to write. And these guys were like, oh, we'll fix this for you.
And again, minutes. I'll let you rant because I have not seen it. So
fair enough. But yeah, it was a good episode, and once again, they're still in the framework.
Don't yell at me, all right?
No one's watching this watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they're still in the framework. It's cool. I like it. Like I said, it's like The Flash, but it's what I wish the Flashpoint would have been. Because the whole thing of the world's completely different. They don't last one episode. But this is actually lasting multiple episodes. And I like that. I think that's cool. And everything's different. I'm happy that, once again, I just love having Ward back in the show because I love that guy. And Fitz being the bad guy, that's pretty darn interesting.
What? He's my favorite character.
Yeah, he's evil now. And Madam Hydra is also cool. Yeah, Madam Hydra, cool as well. And the Patriot, unfortunately, sacrificing his life this episode. I was real sad. I was like, oh, that was a good man he was. And and Trip from when did he die? Season 2 came back in this episode. I was like, oh, good to see Trip. You remember that black guy in the second season? You thought it was cool. His name was Trip.
No.
He's back in the show.
I remember his Mac.
He died when Sky found out she got the powers, when they were in that thing and the thing. All right.
No. Sorry.
Trip's a cool guy.
Oh.
And his death was pretty sad. I was like, poor Trip. I liked him.
I can't picture him, but I think I know what scene you're talking about.
I was like, poor Trip. I like him. I was really sad. I'm happy to see him back because he was probably one of my favorite characters at the time. So good to see Trip back. He's a good man. He's still dead though, but good to see him back. I guess. I guess so is War technically, but overall. It's in the framework. Don't worry about it. The point is, great show. I think it's becoming good now. I think if they continue this going great, I'm really looking forward to season 5.
Barry Allen is doing good, messing up that timeline.
Freak Barry. Yeah, good for Agent Show. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'll just talk about this for a second. When we reviewed this last episode of The Flash, I was lying. I actually hadn't seen it. That's why I didn't do a lot of talking, but I did finally watch it. It wasn't very good. On to the question of the week. We have a big question here. 13 Reasons has been blowing up. It's like the new Stranger Things or something.
Yeah.
So it's been blowing up everywhere. So I'm like, well, I probably should be watching that. So we decided instead of watching it because we're lazy, we're gonna ask the question: what is the best Netflix original series? You go ahead and go first, Ben.
I picked Stranger Things.
Oh,
because I think that it was a very bold move, you know, and I think that the bold move ended up very well. Stranger Things exploded, and then the Super Bowl trailer that dropped. There was reaction videos on YouTube of everybody. I was personally at a friend's party, and the whole room erupted. Yeah, because it was a great trailer. You know how they ended it like Halloween and stuff. It was really cool, and I'm excited for the second one. I think that it had the most. It's like it. The story had the most depth to it for like a TV show that came out of nowhere, with no background lore and stuff. The writers are great. It was great directing. The kid actresses were great, Millie Bobby Brown, and then Winona Ryder. They brought in some veterans too. I think it's just a very well-rounded, very good, very deep and powerful show, and I'm very excited for season 2.
Nice. Now, just to let y'all know now, I actually agree with him. He's definitely right. It's the best show. Best Netflix original series for sure. But I picked another one just for the sake of not us talking about the same thing. But yes, I do agree with everything you said. But I decided to go ahead and pick with my second favorite, and that would be Daredevil. I'm a big fan of Daredevil. It's still my favorite Netflix Marvel show for sure, and I think it's a really good show. It's well made. I think after coming off of Ben Affleck's Daredevil, I was still like, can it be made? I think not. But I just realized I was like, oh no, it was because Ben Affleck was in it. That's why it was bad.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. But it's a good show. Charlie Cox does a great job as Daredevil. Ben Affleck, take freaking notes. He could be. This is how he should be playing Batman, but he doesn't. But the whole cast is great. The guy that plays what's his name, Foggy, that guy. That's like you in the show.
Oh yeah,
Foggy. Yeah. I like him.
Sorry,
and Rosario.
Refresh.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson's good in the show. The villains are great. Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio did great.
Yeah.
As Wilson Fisk for sure. Yeah. Electro is also great. The Punisher, John
Berthnall, definitely my favorite.
Loads of great characters.
Continues to amaze me. We need to talk about him someday.
We do. He's a good actor.
He's such a solid actor.
He's a good actor. He is.
Sorry.
That's alright. But yeah, Daredevil, I think it's a great show. I'm excited for season 3, whenever that's going to be coming, like 2018, I think. But
we'll see.
I'm
and
happy.
The Punisher series, that's going to be good too.
Yeah, that should be good. So, but yeah, Daredevil, good show, bro.
And Defenders.
Come out this July, which we will be reviewing right here on Cinema Talk.
We'll watch it within the first week.
First day. All right, on to first day. On to the open segment of this week we're gonna have 2 open segments because we're gonna actually postpone our debate because we wanted a little more time to prepare for it. So we're gonna actually do that next week. It's gonna be a huge, ginormous explosion, and we're gonna fight for. And we have a 15-minute time period. We have to at least do 15 minutes or more. We have to at least argue for 15 minutes. It's gonna be nonstop, full on, amazing debate, and actually not just yelling, good like evidence to support what we're saying. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to prepare for real nice and strong, right, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be amazing. So, but first we're going to do an open segment, which first we're going to decide to do something a little different, and instead of picking, we're going to do a year in film, but first we're going to do an actor in film.
So we decided to pick an actor that we really like, we enjoy. He has very good acting chops, but we realize has not been in that very much good in movies.
Really not.
But we picked our 3 favorites and our 3 dislikes, or disfavorites.
And should we go through our disfavorites first?
I guess. Let's do our number 3s of our disliked Rock movies.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
We picked The Rock, yes. So, alright, I'll do mine first. I picked G.I. Joe 2. I mean, I don't know. I thought the first one wasn't terrible. It had Marlon Wayans. That's not a plus. I'm sorry.
That just destroyed your movie.
At Channing Tatum. Anyway, the second movie.
Not helping. Magic Mike and Haunted House.
That's the perfect combination.
I don't know what movies you're into.
Compared to freaking Bruce Willis, he literally wasn't even there on the set.
He tried to be John McCain again.
He wasn't even on set. Like they just filmed him out freaking getting coffee and just said, "We'll just put that in the movie."
They filmed him in his own home.
Yeah, I was like, "What the heck? Why is
shotgun in his fireplace?"
I mean, The Rock was fine. Yeah, The Rock's never bad in the movie, but everything else was. Snake Eyes wasn't even as cool, and I'm pretty sure that the Storm Shadow guy or whatever his name was, the guy in the yellow jacket who's like Snake Eyes enemy. I could have sworn he died in the first film. Apparently not.
So I just want to say before I picked this movie as well for my worst favorite. So we'll hate on it together. But as you said, I think they filmed Bruce Willis in his normal everyday life,
just doing stuff.
And then Channing Tatum was Magic Mike in the movie.
Yeah,
and
for 3 seconds.
Marlon Wayans in the first movie.
He should have come back for a second.
No,
that would have been fun. But Marlon Wayans in The Rock.
He should have died in the first one.
He saves the world in the first one, alright?
What? No.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum saves the world.
He stops the freaking world from being bombed by nukes or some crap. That's what he does.
I don't remember. I haven't seen it.
I have.
Anyway, it's Marlon Wayans. Alright, it can't be that good. Anyway, the point is,
Fine.
the second one was not very good, but The Rock was good in it.
That's it.
That's how all of these are going to go.
Very, very much.
Anyway, so yeah.
All right, my number 2 pick is a film that I watched as a young man. And I was like, well, that was awful. And then I looked up the real life story and said, oh, now this film is not only awful, but it's an awfully bad taste. And that's Pain and Gain.
Apparently we agree on this too.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. I mean,
it scared me so much.
It's so bad.
Why did The Rock have to play a Christian druggie?
Why was he like snorting cocaine off of like a woman's like
Bible.
lap or something? I don't.
And a Bible.
And
I
a
was
Bible.
like, what?
I mean,
Freaking, and then Mark Wahlberg was in this movie.
And
I
Anthony
forgot about
Mackie.
that.
Anthony Mackie, yeah.
Oh, poor Anthony.
Ed Harris.
Thank
Why
God
does
he
not
moved up. Somehow Anthony Mackie moved up. From
Yeah,
that.
somehow. I mean, and Ed Harris. What is he? Does he not have anything better to do?
I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, like, and Rebel Wilson was in this, right?
Yep.
Yeah, she was.
Sure.
Yeah, I think she
The
was.
scene that scared me the most was towards the end when they dropped that
The dumbbell
weight
thing? Yeah.
on that the guy's
The guy,
head,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was like, that literally scared the living crap out of me because I didn't expect it to be that gory.
Yeah.
It was just like I was like, oh no, oh what was that? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
But it's
I think the only thing that The Rock was the only not bad thing about this because he had a few good funny scenes.
yeah, he was the comedic relief.
Yeah, but everything else. I think the thing that's worse about this film, first of all, Michael Bay is a terrible person, and him directing this just made it bad.
No, he's a terrible person.
Yeah,
And
but
the
like
director.
the fact, because if you look up the true life story of this film, it's actually a very dark and sad story where these 3 main characters that this movie's trying to make you root for are actually like murderous douchebags who like literally killed like 2 people.
Look up the backstory.
Yeah, look up his true story. Yeah, it's literally monstrous, and then there's like, oh, so they tried to make this into a comedy. Hand clap
Round
for
of
that
applause,
one.
Michael
Hand
Bay.
clap. Michael Bay, kill yourself. All right, on to our next film.
I believe we agree on this one too.
Oh, so we agreed on all of them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy.
I don't want to talk about this movie. The only thing worse than The Tooth Fairy was the second one.
I never saw the second one because
No, I
I
haven't
told
either.
myself I didn't want to commit
No.
suicide. I didn't want to do
Yeah.
it.
Sudoku was not a great choice.
Wasn't it Larry the Cable Guy or something?
I don't want to talk about it. Why did they go from a big black guy
To like a hairy
to a
old white
big
guy.
white
Yeah.
redneck?
I
Anyway, let's talk about some good
I-
rock movies. I don't want to talk about The Tooth Fairy.
Seth MacFarlane was in it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I don't remember
and that was the worst part of it. Was like, why was he in this?
Who was the mom? I forgot.
Oh, it was like a respected actress too.
Yeah,
I don't
it
remember her
was.
name. It was like someone who should not be in this film. That's who the frick it was.
My number 3 good pick for The Rock is Hercules. I
Hercules.
enjoyed this movie.
Alright.
It wasn't like a big movie. Like it didn't make that much. That much.
I mean, it was directed by Brent Ratner, so
Yeah, so it wasn't. But I think that it was a good movie. It was.
Yeah.
He didn't do bad as Hercules. You know, when they had some other good actors in it.
Ian
and characters.
McShane or something like that.
Yeah, the guy. You know, everybody remembers the scene where he just says, "This is my time to die," and all the
Rock's just
arrows
like,
come
"No,
up. Yeah.
You're not dying
Yeah,
today.
it was a good movie. I think it was a
Yeah.
good, solid. You know, it wasn't horrible. It was
Yeah.
definitely better than the other Hercules movie.
I liked it as well because it took me by surprise because the trailers like they established it as like being this is The Rock being Hercules, but like
Right.
the movie itself was actually like no, actually it's like them like putting on the charade of him being Hercules. It's like, that's actually it's different. I liked it. It was nice. It was a pleasant surprise.
It was an interesting twist that
Yeah.
made it into a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I liked it. Good for The Rock. My third pick would be, you guessed it. You didn't guess it? Well, I'm going to tell you. The Game Plan. You've never seen this? Well, it's an amazing movie. It's the best movie about football.
It's the good version of Tooth Fairy. I wouldn't say it's the best football movie.
Well, it's the best football movie I've ever
It's
seen.
the best comedic football movie.
And, The Rock's great in it. I don't remember the girl's name. That's not good. The little girl who plays his daughter, also amazing in the film. Even Morris Chestnut's good in this movie. You don't know who that is? Well, he's good. It's a great movie. I love this film as a kid, and I still think it's a good watchable film. I enjoy it very much. So, Ben, what's your second pick?
My second pick is Central Intelligence.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was very excited about this movie. Kevin Hart was in it. He was funny. But The Rock was the main comedic role.
Yeah, comedic
Kevin Hart
relief,
was the straight man.
Yeah.
Which is, you're like, that can't, no.
Yeah,
That
he's
can't
never.
be right.
Yeah, he's never done that before.
It's a small black man with a high pitched voice. That
Yeah.
can't be real. But yeah, I think The Rock was funnier in this movie.
Yeah,
He was like a very cheesy, scary like autistic kid funny, but he was hilarious. You know, and I think it was a good movie. I'm sure that it wasn't like hugely critically acclaimed. But
it was mixed.
Liked.
Yeah, it was mixed,
liked.
and it made pretty good money.
I think it was solid. I bought it on iTunes. I thought it was a good movie. I enjoy showing it to my friends and laughing with it. And shoot, I forgot her name.
Who?
The FBI lady. She kind of scared me a little bit. She was a little intense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I understand, but I feel like she was like super intense for the movies. Like Amy Ryan is her name.
There you go.
She hasn't been in. She was in Birdman.
Yeah, she was nice.
She did good. Like she just scared me a little bit. That was
fair enough.
And that's not like a bad thing towards the movie. She just scared me personally.
Well, there you go.
But otherwise, I really enjoyed the movie.
All right. My second pick would be San Andreas. I think this was the film that really like made The Rock officially like one of the biggest stars in the world. This was like a film that really set him out to say, hey, The Rock's actually really big. I mean, it's a great cast. Alexander Daddario, it was directed by Brad Payton, who he's done Journey 2, but he's also done this, so that's always good. He did good for this, that's for sure. It's a really good disaster film. The Rock does a really good job in this, a lot better than I thought he would.
I really like Paul Giamatti as the professor.
I
like him in a lot of the movies.
Yeah, he's always good. Always good. But yeah, a really great movie, and I enjoyed seeing it when I did. I also had a bit of a seizure in the theater when I watched it, but let's not talk about that. Go ahead, Ben.
It was a scary movie. It was.
It wasn't scary. It just gave me a seizure.
It scared me, but I thought it was good.
Fair enough.
I want The Rock to hold me in his arms in an airplane. A helicopter is what I meant. Sorry.
There you go.
Anyway, that is my number one pick, San Andreas.
Oh, all right.
I enjoyed it very much. When I went and saw this movie, it was a great experience too. Like I went in pretty excited to it. I was like, wow, this could be the first start to a lot of good, maybe a good disaster film. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like an unrealistic disaster movie either. Yeah. It was like something that could actually happen. And they made it, into a very, I think, realistic form, It was very suspenseful, the end was like, oh, does she die,
Yeah.
And then Alexander Daddario, very, very good and beautiful and good actress as well. So, I enjoyed it.
Teaming up together again in Baywatch, too.
And there you go. He's like, you know what, I need to work with her again.
Yeah.
And it came out in my birthday month. So
it did.
It's an exciting time.
Only like a week after your birthday, right?
Yeah.
All right. My number one pick is none other than What Can You Say Except You're Welcome. You know that from? It's from Moana, of course, which is my opinion, the best Rock movie ever. Even though it was an animated performance, or a voice performance rather, it still was really well. I love this film. The girl who plays Moana, I'm somewhat in love with. But she does a great job. She's a professional singer as well. Like she performed at the Oscars and she did amazing. The music in the music in the movie is so great. The character development of the characters is so great. It's such a great, really feel good movie. I love it so much. I was having such a fun time watching it. I haven't watched the movie in a long time that really caught my attention like it did. And it was such a fun movie, and I wish it would get a sequel because I'd love to see these characters again. But overall, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? Go out, watch Moana, and have a good time. The Rock.
There you go.
There you go.
Great actor.
Yes.
Comment on who you want our next actor. Yep.
What next actor should we do the actor and film thing for? Yeah.
We're great.
I wanted to be Leonardo DiCaprio, but we'll see if they say something different. Then we'll go with them.
We'll see.
All right. On to our second part of the open segment, which will be a year in film, and this time we picked a random year. It just came up to me.
1998.
1998.
Yeah.
It's an interesting year. It turns out it's really not, but it has some pretty darn good movies in it, and we are going to discuss the worst and best of them. So we're going to start off with the worst, and I'm going to name my two worst, and then Ben's going to name his one, because I haven't
seen that many bad movies in 1998.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
He didn't have a lot.
The only one that I saw was when I was a kid, and I didn't like it, and I thought it was a disgrace to the first one.
Yeah.
And that would be Babe. I'm just going to say it.
Oh,
and then
all
you
right.
can go for your two. Sorry,
Okay.
I just want to talk about it.
All right.
This movie was a freaking disgrace to the first one. The first Babe was a good, heartfelt, movie.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do, pig. That'll
Directed
do.
by George Miller as well.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And he did great as a freaking child movie. He didn't go all Mad Max on it. And then the second movie was just ruined, where the Babe goes to a city and gets stuck in like a jet engine. And
what the freak?
Yeah, that's what it's literally called. It's literally called Babe, a Pig in the City.
What? I've never seen it yet.
It's a bad movie.
That's
pretty much it. Go
ahead.
ahead.
All right, there you go. The third film, my third list would be Holy Man. Eddie Murphy had a bad year, 1998. He did Dr. Dolittle. It's not on this list, but it's bad. And then he did, Ben's now just seeing a picture of Holy Man. He look up a picture of this film and tell me it does not look freaking stupid. Okay,
it looks like he's trying to play Gandhi.
He was, but he failed so miserably. His name is G in the film. It is so laughably
I'm not laughing.
Terrible. I watched this film.
Jeff Goldblum's in this movie?
Yeah, and he disgraced his entire family being in it. Oh. I hate this movie, and anyone who likes it, good for you. You can find enjoyment in this. Good for you, buddy. I wish I was you because I can't. I really can't. Eddie Murphy, I'm happy he retired soon. My second movie of the year. Now, you might not know this about me, but I'm actually pretty fond of horror movies. And with that being said, I actually did not mind the first 3 Chucky films. I was a fan. I was like, you know what, Chucky, heck yeah, that thing. That little creepy doll, he does good, he does. Then they made The Bride of Chucky. And then that franchise died a slow, painful death. But no, it actually did it. They made 2 movies afterwards. But oh my gosh, it's so bad. Jennifer Tilly as like the voice of, which, no offense, she has the most annoying voice of any actress I've ever known. Next to like Fran Drescher, okay. And you might be thinking, yeah, I know she's on Family Guy, but she's not on there a lot, so it's doable. But she does so bad, like and why does he need a bride? And like there's like a really bad graphic, awful like doll on doll scene that I'm not going to talk about. That was it didn't need to be in the movie. I was like, wow, you ruined a really great cult classic with this. Whoever made this movie, just give up on life because you destroyed what was a great and amazing franchise that is now it's now known because of this crap. So thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The last film, which was the worst movie of 1998. I'm for one, I'm against remaking good films because they're never as good, and this film is the perfect evidence.
He's ashamed.
I am. It's 1998's Psycho with Vince Vaughn. First of all, whoever said let's cast Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates should be fired and never be allowed to work anywhere ever again. That's just the first rule. He doesn't even look like he doesn't even look like okay. All right. It's bad. It's terribly acted. The dialogue is a lot worse than the original. The direction is really pathetic. William H. Macy's in it for some reason. I don't know why. Let's not talk about it anymore. The point is, it's an awful film that should have never tried to remake the perfect film. Because, Psycho is probably the closest, almost, if not one of the closest films to being just a perfect movie. Why would you try to remake it, but then you make it so terribly? Gus Van Sant, you awful, awful human being. I hate this movie.
Anyway.
But now let's look on something not happier. Let's do some happier things now.
All right.
You name me your third favorite movie of the year.
Now, a lot of people might not agree with me. I watched this Killy. Anyway, I watched this movie when I was like, let's say, 13 or 14.
All right.
And I enjoyed it a lot. And it was Godzilla. I didn't mind this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because when I was that age, I liked these kind of cheesy action movies, The tagline was hilarious to me, which is size does matter. That made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it was horrible. Like, it wasn't that bad of a movie, right? Maybe it was. I don't know. I myself enjoyed it a little bit. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough. If you enjoyed it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So yeah. Matthew Broderick wasn't horrible, as in the movie.
Yeah.
But
he's horrible in a lot of other stuff, but in this film he wasn't. True. He wasn't actually. Yeah.
He wasn't the worst.
For Matthew.
So, yeah.
Good for Matthew.
Good for yeah.
All right. My third favorite film of the year is a little movie by a man who I usually hate and everything, and that's Fallen. Denzel Washington actually being good in the movie. I was so confused by this. I was like, what? Denzel? Not terrible?
I like this movie too.
I was like, this is insane. Because I usually hate Denzel movies, but this was actually a really good film. John Goodman's in it as well. I watched this film at a really young age, and it was great. I really liked it. I think it's a good movie.
Spooky.
Yeah. And it's a really cool, interesting idea. It was a very cool, original, interesting idea as well. And I liked it. And it's a really cool movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a good film. It looks scary from the cover, but trust me, it's not a horror movie, but it's cool.
It's a thriller.
Yeah, but it's a cool movie. I think you should watch it.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Rush Hour.
Whoa.
Yeah, I love Rush Hour. Good
Yeah.
old Jackie Chan. War
Is it
good for absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Sorry.
Anyway, it was a great movie.
It's 4 a.m. here.
Uh,
Go ahead.
It was good. You know, Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, arguably one of the best comedy duo, and
Surprisingly, yeah.
ever.
The fastest hands in the East versus the biggest mouth in the West.
There you go.
I love that. I love that
Great
tagline. Yeah.
tagline. You know, Chris Tucker doing his scary high voice comedy, and Jackie
You're crazy,
Chan.
man. You're crazy.
Crazy! And then Jackie Chan hanging from signs and being a scary man. And
Yeah, this
fighting.
movie scared you because you had never seen Jackie Chan like do that kind
No,
of thing.
no. This was like the first
Exposure to him,
one of the
yeah.
first, yeah.
Because you were like, we watched this movie together, and he was just like, what's happening? I'm confused. I was like, he's fighting. He's like,
And I
what?
feel like Chris Tucker was pretty
It's
handsome
pretty-
in this movie. Like he had some really nice hair. In this
He was
movie.
handsome back in the day.
He
He's fat
was.
now,
He was
but he
good.
was handsome in the
Yeah.
day. He did his thing.
A lot of people were handsome. Anyway,
That's true.
I really enjoyed Rush Hour. It's a good movie.
Nice.
If you haven't seen it, it's not bad. It's you should go give it a shot.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
shame on you. If you haven't seen
Don't watch the third one, but you can watch the second
it.
one.
Yeah, second one's pretty good.
Yeah.
First one's the best.
Yes. On to my second film, which is a lot of people haven't heard of this, but it's a black movie, so there you go. But Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Now this was not autobiography, but a biography film, and it's really cool. It has Halle Berry, Vivica A. Fox, Lorez Tate. It's a really cool movie. It's based off of like a boy, like one of the first like boy bands, but like they were known for like their great voices, and Lorez Tate being the lead singer, his it's based off their actual singer and like his life towards drugs and having 3 different wives and just going down a really dark, crazy path, which eventually led to him overdosing on drugs. But it's a really cool story, and it's not cool, I guess, but it's a really interesting story, and I think it was very realistic, and I liked it. I liked this. It reminded me a lot of like the Marilyn Monroe film, and I think it's a good movie. And if you liked the actual singer, I'm not going to say his name because I'm bad with names, but if you like the actual singer, then I'd say you should like this movie as well.
There you go.
All right, on to your favorite movie of 1998, Ben.
You ready?
I'm ready. Wait, can I guess?
Oh, here we go.
You know I have
This
to.
whole
You know I have
nonsense.
to.
All right, give it a shot.
Liam Neeson's Les Mis. No. That's stupid. I'm just kidding. It's freaking The Avengers with Sean Connery and Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman. The best movie of all time, right?
It didn't even make.
That
its
made like
budget.
$500 million.
That made 48. Didn't even meet its budget at 60. My favorite movie is a great Tom Hanks war movie.
What?
Saving Private Ryan. One of the best adapted World War II movies ever. Matt Damon. Sorry, I just blanked. Tom Hanks.
There you go.
Tom Sizemore. Steven Spielberg. It's one of the best, like I said, World War II movies.
Yeah.
It's a great drama. It's very, very intense.
Vin Diesel as well.
Apparently Vin Diesel was in this movie. I don't remember that.
Yeah, this was like one of his first acting roles. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was great. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Everybody likes it. If you don't like this movie, I don't have many good words to say to you.
Yeah, I mean, this won Steven Spielberg the Oscar for Best Director.
Well, it's because Steven Spielberg's a god. He's
true.
a god.
He is.
Anyway.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right. There
You're
you go.
number one.
Believe it or not, you've already said it. It's Rush Hour.
Boom.
Was my favorite movie of 1998. I love this movie. I've seen this movie probably well over 500 times.
It's so good.
The first time I saw it, I think I was like 3, and I was like, that movie's funny. I don't know why when I was 3 I sounded like Chris Tucker for some reason, but yeah, I like that movie a lot. It's really funny and cool because I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. He's probably my favorite like martial artist actor, I guess, and I really loved Chris Tucker. He's probably one of my favorite comedians. So the two of them together,
you were just like, what?
That's magic right
It's
there.
amazing.
That's money. That's money, baby.
24 karat magic in. Sorry.
No, we don't own the copyrights to that.
That was a. I didn't.
This is our last episode again, folks.
No.
But it's a great movie. I love Rush Hour a lot, and if you haven't seen it, yes, please just watch it. You'll like it. Just watch it. It's a really funny movie.
It is.
So yeah, there you go. Those are our favorite movies in '98. All right. So thank you so much for watching. That's the end of our second open segment. This episode was a little shorter. Once again, it was a slower week, but hopefully there'll be some cool stuff next week. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see. Well, actually, there is. I'm gonna tease it now. I will be reviewing the series finale of Bates Motel.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's gonna be amazing.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ben's gonna have to leave the room when I do it because he hasn't heard it. He hasn't watched it yet, brother. So
unless I can fit in.
it's coming out tomorrow.
Anyway,
well, by the time I review it,
as always,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Keep watching, keep listening, and we'll keep talking.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Have a good week, guys.